and Wonder Woman and her team of magical defenders mend fences between the parliaments of life and save the world as we know it. Well, let's hop into the pages of Justice League Dark, issue number 22, and find out together, shall we? So, as the comic opens up, we're in Tanzania, where we link up with a member of the Maasai people, one of the oldest groups of people on Earth. So old, in fact, that this dude's ancestors still tell stories of the time they climbed the mountain and spoke with God himself, only that God may have just been Dr. Fate. Though, still so long ago, he was not a doctor or a pharaoh or even a lord. Khalid, the newest Dr. Fate, has come all this way to seek audience with the first elementals. The first gods of earth, fire, and vapor, which makes a lot of sense, but with Africa being, the cradle of all life as we know it, naturally the oldest gods of the elements would live there. Dr. Fate hopes that if these elementals will convene another Parliament of Life meeting, then hopefully they can stop this war that is currently tearing the world apart. The only problem is the elementals don't really seem to care. After all, what's the point of trying to save the world? Magic is dying, the Upside Down Man and the other kin are coming. Maybe death, destruction, and chaos are just the natural order for the world. And maybe on some level mankind had this destruction coming to them for a very long time. Now, in the previous issue, Buddy Baker had used his powers as Animal Man to turn himself into a teeny tiny tapeworm so he could go inside the bloodstream and have a conversation with the Divided. Another ancient parliament of life that oversees all cellular beings, meaning they literally live in everyone at all times. Animal Man tries to plead his case for humanity that if the fungal forces of the Grey manage to kill everyone on Earth or transform them, then the Divided will have no one to live off of. The Red and the Divided, after all, form a symbiote circle. And what happens to one will definitely affect the other. Ultimately, Animal Man proves to be a pretty damn good order because the Divided agree to help and use their cellular powers to let people fight off the fungal infection. I think Detective Chimp, though, sums up my feelings better than anyone else. Wait, you mean there's sentient cells in our body? I was just wrapping my mind around mushroom zombies. Dr. Fate hopes that this show of good faith, two parliaments often at war actually helping each other for the greater good, will help convince the elementals to get involved. But they're stubborn old deities and are still going to need a little bit more convincing. Now, elsewhere, Zatanna is still duking out with Anton Arcane, the current avatar of the evil rot. The fight is decidedly unfair, after all, Anton being closer to his source of power than just about anyone else. Granted, Zatanna doesn't have to win, only buy Constantine enough time to wake up Abigail Arcane. Speaking of Abby, she's still not 100% certain if she's dreaming, if she's in the past, or somewhere else. Constantine, though, knows that if he brings up Alec Holland the Swamp Thing to her, surely that will be enough to snap her out of it. After all, Abby was the avatar of the Rot once and was able to move the Parliament into a more positive direction, and surely if she can return now to full power, she can challenge her father and help restore order once again. In fact, Khalid, having seen all of this, uses Animal Man's own tactics against the elementals, saying that if all of mankind was to be wiped out, there would be no one left to share the god stories. Oh, they would still be eternal and all-powerful, but really, what's the point of being eternal and all-powerful gods when you have no one to lord over? At that point, you would just be, well, normal. Now, as the comic comes to a close, all of these seemingly disconnected stories finally start to sync up again as Wonder Woman, Detective Chimp, and Animal Man are able to back up Constantine and Zatanna for their final battle with the Rot. And so that was Justice League Dark issue number 22, everybody, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed this issue, not only as part of the bigger Justice League Dark ongoing story, but also I think this issue works really well as a standalone, too. I really resonated with the whole circle of life, we are all connected from the very large to the very small kind of idea that they were playing with here. Plus, I mean, come on, Animal Man gets to be the big hero of this story, what's not to love about that? I really hope Buddy sticks around and continues to be a member of this team moving forward, because he just doesn't get enough play, and that's a shame. And I mean, they're still technically down a member unless some crazy shenanigans happen in the finale that bring them back Swamp Thing, so why not trade out one avatar for another, I ask you. Overall, I'd give this one a very positive 8 out of 10. Man, it's great to get to read new comics again, I tell ya.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cave Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time, everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.